From fire and ice was the first being ever born. His name was Ymir. From his pits came the gods and man. From his toes, the dwarves. And from his very own sweat, the next generation of frost giants. But he would not live long, though. For when his brothers slew him, and from his body, they made the world. But trust me, friends, revenge is a dish best served cold. And with that being said, welcome to an episode of Knoweth That of Smite Academy's Knoweth That God. I am your host, Ravage Roo, and today we're going to go over Ymir, the father of frost giants. He's in Norse. He is a guardian, and he is one of the two guardians you have instant access to for newer players. He is also listed as an easy god to learn because as an easy difficulty god, and for a very good reason. He has his simple kit gives him a very low skill floor, so newer players can learn him and play him pretty well without having to feel overwhelmed by how he works. And now we're going to start off with telling you everything you need to know about his abilities here and demonstrate them here in the practice jungle, and then I will take you to the practice arena, where I could show you and give you a demonstration on how to play him and the main tips and tricks you need to succeed as him. As even though he has a very low skill floor, I can assure you the skill ceiling is a little bit more higher to make him to make him work for your team. Let's get started. Now, Ymir's first ability, before we can start on his abilities, let's go over his passive. Ymir's passive is called Frostbite. Now, what this passive does is whenever you hit an enemy with an ability, it will apply a debuff to him. And this debuff causes the causes the victim to deal 10% less damage to not only just Ymir, but to everyone on your team. This is very important because this allows Ymir to be one of the few guardians who can actually apply a damage-wide, basically a team-wide damage reduction debuff, thus ensuring the survival of his teammates a lot more so in team fights. Not only does this debuff apply damage reduction, but the victims of this debuff will also take an additional 100% damage from his basic attacks. What this means is your basics will be dealing double the damage. And now we'll demonstrate that here in a moment with his second ability. But first, let's go to his first ability. His first ability is called Ice Wall. It's pretty simple. He creates a nice little wide ice wall in front of him with a max range of 55 units. Or 55 feet, I think. I did use the feet. Anyways, it's not as cool as you would think, but the part you need to understand is this wall starts off with a 2-second life. And with each point you put into the ability, it gains an additional second max to its life, giving it a total of 6-second life. And on a very short cooldown of 14 seconds without any cooldown reductions, this is very good. Now, you use this ability so much to do one of a few things. Normally, you'd be using this to prevent escape from your enemies from escaping. By using this ability, they will have to walk around the wall. See, the thing is, the trick with it is, since they can't go in the direction they want to go, they have to put one foot in front of the other and go around the other way. Now, that being said, it could be used for more than just that. The applications are only just limited by pretty much your understanding of not only of how to divert enemy pathways, but also how to use it in a conjuncture of offensive and defensive measures. Now, I will let you know that for you to understand how this works, is you have to understand also how all the other gods work. But in short, This can also be used to block projectiles. Most, not all, but most projectiles. Just be aware that if you use this while on a teammate's fleeing, there's a possibility you might end up blocking them by accident. But more on that when I demonstrate it in the practice room. Now, for Ymir's second ability, it is called Glacial Strike. What this does is it will cause... Yeah, I thought so. It is a 70 unit ability. Okay, 70-foot unit ability. Anyways, with Glacial Spike, they are... it is a line ability that will strike a 10-foot wide area in a 40 feet in front of Ymir. And what this ability would do is it will give your enemy all victims in its range a very cold acupuncture to the feet.
Look like Rocky Road.
Now, hitting an enemy with this ability itself means you'll have to understand that even though the ability activates instantly, you have a half-second delay before the spikes come out of the ground. In that time frame, nothing happens to the victim. Now, if the spikes hit the victim, however, it will not only apply your frostbite, but it will also apply a 35% slow. This ability will do at the base rank, at the first rank, mind you, 90 damage plus 7% of your magical power. That, of course, scales with the rest of your as you put rank into it. The more you level it up, the more damage it does, and that's about it. The slow stays the same throughout the whole entire, no matter how much you level up, and it's a 4-second slow, mind you. So this will help prevent your enemies. It could be used to either deal damage or prevent an enemy from fleeing. Mostly, it's used to prevent an enemy from fleeing. However, the damage is pretty decent for what it is. But it's mostly used for crowd control and applying your debuff. Now, like I said, it will apply the debuff when it's when the spikes strike. And as you notice, how much damage I'm doing with my basics. Note that I'm only doing 43 base damage right now at the current moment. Now, if I hit with my glacial spikes, I can now apply 87 damage to my basics instead. So basically, as I said, for that short duration the debuff lasts, which is approximately 4 seconds, you are doing 100% more damage.
Ooh, crunchy.
Now, as I said at the start of the explanation of this ability, it does have a half-second delay, so you are going to want to lead your target when you aim this ability. Aim for where you think they will be, rather than try to aim for where they are at, especially if they're on the move. Now, it doesn't have to be in the straight line, but as long as this thing here touches them, they will suffer the damage, like that. That being said, we'll go to his third ability, Frost Breath. And as you might guess, you really get your air conditioner's worth out of his breath. Most people have stinky breath. Not Ymir. He's a walking AC unit, buddy, and you're going to really feel the freeze. For this ability, it does in a 40-foot area in front of him, will deal damage, 50 damage, plus 50% of your magical power, and will apply a 1.25 second stun. 1.25 seconds, mind you. The best part of all is, they're stunned. That's it. It'll apply the frostbite, but it also stuns them. The stun only lasts for 1.25 seconds. For each rank you put into it, it deals more damage, and the stun duration increases by 1/4 second, maxing out 2.25 seconds at max rank. And there's not much else to explain. It's got a very short cast animation. It freezes everything in a wide arc. Just keep in mind that anything that gets closer to you will be able to circle jerk around you and actually cause you to miss your frost breath. So keep that in mind. You want to hit them at a farther range so you can get the most victims out of your frost breath. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go to Ymir's fourth ability. This ability is called. I'm gonna explain it first before actually demonstrating it. Now, what will happen is Ymir will root himself in place and start channeling for 3 seconds. During this time, he cannot move. He's also CC immune while he's channeling. At the end of the channel, he will explode, doing massive damage and applying frostbite to all victims with the ability. Now, this ability has a 35-foot radius, so it's got a decent width to it. And it will deal 500 damage at the first rank, plus 150% of your power, magical power. Each rank you put into it not only reduces its cooldown from 90 seconds at the start at base rank with no cooldown reduction down to 70 seconds at max rank. However, it will also increase the damage. Now, to demonstrate this, I'll do this. Now, this ability is unique compared to Glacial Spike in that even though you don't deal damage, if you don't do the damage with the ability, it will apply the frostbite so long as they're within that radius while you're channeling. So this will allow you to survive damage as long as the enemies are dumb enough to actually stay within your vicinity. So anyone who's not ranged is basically asking to deal less damage to you while suffering some serious damage from either your team or from you when you fully erupt it. Not only that, but let's wait for the cooldown to finish up, and I can demonstrate this one more time. Well, as you're channeling, you can cancel that channeling early, so that way it does deal damage. So if you feel like you're not going to get all the victims you need to get, and you need to get out of dodge, you can cancel it early. It'll deal subsequently less damage, but you won't end up planting your face into the ground in more ways than one. Great way to give your opponents the cold shoulder, and if not, make them go slip and slide. That being said, now we're going to move on to how to play the god. So, feel free to join me right now if you wish, or if that's all you want to know as far as explanation of how the abilities work, you know where the. Please feel free to, and if you enjoyed what you saw, enjoy the handy little tips. I mean, at least the handy explanation of how the abilities work. Feel free to hit a like and subscribe and hit the notification bell because I will be putting up more videos for this material. And if you want to stay for a demonstration, just give me a moment and we'll get started right away.
Me hungry.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Alright, let's do it, folks.
Ymir is here.
Say hello, Ymir. Alright. No need to give them the cold shoulder. They just come here to see how you work out, buddy. Let's do it. Now, mind you, this is a practice arena, so I want you to folks to understand the concept that what I do here is going to be some, not all serious business, but just to give you an understanding of how the guy feels and plays. Now, remember, he is a guardian, so more often than not, your team will look at you as a support rather than actually the damage dealer. So your main mission is to control the fights by ensuring that your teammates get out, unless they do something stupid like that,
You stop.
and not do something like that, which could have caused your teammate to die by accident. Remember what I said about the walls earlier? That's what I mean by the walls earlier. You gotta be smart about how you place them, because you can end up pinching your own teammate into a total butt whooping. And that's just not cool. All pun intended, baby. All puns intended. We got ice cream. We got ice and winter puns for days. Ooh, that's not pretty. Now, as I said before, your main job as a guardian is probably going to be supporting your team. So they're going to be looking forward to you to do what a guardian does best. So I'm going to state the obvious for you. That's control the fight. Now, one thing you'll find with Ymir is that since you do not have any leaps or dashes, which makes you one of the least mobile guardians, one thing you will have to understand is you're going to have a very low mobility, which means you initiating fights is going to be a lot more difficult than someone like, say, a Bacchus or a Cerberus, or even a Cabrakan for that matter. Because you're going to find that in order for you to actually initiate fights 90% of the time, you're going to, unless you pick up a blink, you're going to have to face tank a lot of the enemy's damage right off the get-go for the fights. See what I mean? Notice how two of them at least still took the damage and still got affected by the frostbite.
Oh, fuck.
That's how Glacial Spike works. So you gotta remember to actually aim it to where they're gonna be at, or where you think they're gonna be at, is the most likely thing you want to know. Okay, watch how I prevent his escape. Boom. Oh, never mind. Apparently I was not close enough. I didn't accidentally prevent my enemies, my teammates from chasing. Now, if these were actually human players, they would be smart enough to actually go back into base. But since the spots, spots. I'm going to be as cold as possible on that one. Harsh like the winter.
Slice.
And that's how you do that. Like I said, be careful on always how you place those walls. See, this is another way you can use your glacial your ice shards. It does massive damage, but your main concern of using it is to actually prevent the enemy team from pursuing your teammates. Dang it. Boom. Pop shell. Yeah. You're going to find you're reliant on your ability, even though you do damage with your abilities and your basics, you find you're relying on your abilities to apply that debuff so you can do more damage to the basics. So one thing in mind is, even if you play Ymir in a damage role rather than a support role, always keep in mind that your cooldowns are very important. So I highly recommend that you at least use cooldown reduction items. Always. This will allow you to get the most out of Ymir. Because not only still allow you to deal damage, but also allow you to control the fight to your best of abilities.
An enemy has been slain.
See how I can use the wall? I can see, like I said, remember I said about multiple applications for the wall? You can use the wall to prevent not only the enemy from escaping or from chasing your teammates, but you can also prevent them from advancing, thus delaying their ability to return to a fight.
Double kill.
Uh-oh, gotta leave it at this one. There, reduce the damage on you.
An enemy has been slain.
My path ends. There is invincible.
Now, normally in a boxing match like that, I probably would have lost against a player, a human Arachne. Although, then again, I could have also gotten off a nice kill if I would have stuck with the melee on that frost breath.
Ymir no need,
Now,
but take it.
if you're going to play the support role, Remember that you are going to be having to go to initiate fights. You're going to have to face tank damage. So you want as much protection as you can get. Even if you get the damage reduction from your passive, you have to land your abilities first to get that damage reduction. So you want as much as possible. Boom! You want as much as possible to get as much damage reduction as possible from those protections. As I said before, you're going to be face tanking a lot of those hits. Ooh, Raw got away. Can't do anything about that. And if I had my wall, I could prevent this minion from being walked in, but that's not going to happen. So, just take it as it is. Now, to give you a further explanation on the wall itself, as I stated before, you can block many projectiles. Mostly, you can block basic attacks from ranged attackers, such as the mages and the hunters. But not only that, you can also use it to block some of their abilities as well. The only exceptions are abilities that actually have the ability to go through walls, such as Neith's Arrow, Raw's Celestial Beam, just to name a few.
The heat bears down upon you.
And if you have happen to have a whole Yi on your team, you could also use it as a way to give him some way to ricochet his first ability in a way it would never have done before in an open field. So, like I said, the applications of the ability is endless. Well, I wouldn't say endless, but it's what gives the Ymir the low skill cap, low skill floor, but the high skill ceiling.
An ally has been slain.
Double kill.
Okay, now I'm taking more damage than I need to take. Gotta get out, gotta get out. Alright.
Minions have reached your portal.
Ooh, they're allowing these minions to walk in big time. There. Now, mind you, the damage reduction is only a 4-second damage reduction, so your team better be quick about actually getting in or getting out of the fights.
Slice.
Otherwise, they're just end up wasting your ability.
You stop.
Once I get my shoes, I'm going to show you folks also another handy little trick I want to show you with the wall. But unfortunately, I have to build shoes first. And that's going to take a moment. A good moment. Now, mind you. Also, I'm going to say mind you. Now, one cool thing to note is that your frost breath does not have any wind-up time. So, and it has a very, very, very short cast time. So, it's hard to interrupt it. Very hard to interrupt it. Making it very useful for interrupting other abilities that are channeled or have a long wind-up time before being able to do anything.
The heat bears down upon you.
There we are, see? Like I said, it's all about how you place those walls, baby. You gotta be cold to your enemies, but don't be too cold to your teammates, though. You want to be cool, not cold.
Bears down upon you. An ally has been slain.
Unfortunately, I had to say my own bacon on that one.
Unstoppable.
Sharp is expensive. Want to smash it.
Now, there's one of two things you can do. You would usually do here is usually either get the Shield of Thorns, so that way, if I have, let's see, only 2 range damage dealers, so I don't usually have to worry about being pecked on too much by range damage dealers. But if you feel like the enemy team has more range damage dealers, I'd recommend going with Thorns instead. So that way, if they try to stay safely out of your Ice Shard range, you can still at least reflect the damage back at them. There we are. No one's going anywhere without my permission. You shall not pass!
An enemy.
See how that works? Even though I didn't kill him with the enemy Hercules with that, or Guan Yu with that, I still managed to help my teammates secure the kill by making it more difficult for the Guan Yu to escape. It's all about where you it's all about where you place the ice. Placements. Rolling out the cold carpet. Acupuncture, anyone? How's those feet? Numb? Good. That's the way I prefer your feet. That means it's doing the job. That means the job is getting done, people. Oh no, you're not going anywhere.
An ally has been slain.
Oh crap! Hercules, you might want to get out, bud. I can't save you. See, and this is how I can make myself CC immune to Guan Yu's stun right there. It's also a great pinch move to keep yourself from being CC immune. But mind you, this also is very risky. It's quite the gamble sometimes because you can end up getting yourself melted. So it's either you take the CC or you just want, or you want to turn into a giant lake. Take your pick, but pick wisely. Which one do you think will be more detrimental to your team? Okay, now watch this. Pop. Nope. No, you're not going around. I didn't say you could leave. See that? Team setup right there. Shazam. Set up for days.
An enemy has
Boom.
been slain.
And now right there, also your wall also can help your Hercules boulders also ricochet as well. So you see, the wall can be used for many things, depending on what your team composition is and your enemy team composition is.
An enemy has been slain.
The wall can be used as a way to deny, say, an Applash. If your enemy team has an Applash, it could be a great way to deny them their zombie bomb.
You have slain an enemy. Minions have reached your portal.
Now, normally a smart player would actually leap with out of that with Bacchus, but this one will not. It's a bot, so it won't do it for the most part.
An enemy has been slain.
Now, this is a cool trick I want to show you is, if you're getting chased by an enemy team, once you have your shoes on, as long as you're not affected by a slow, you can do this little nifty trick with the ice wall. Boom! Prevent people from chasing you, right there. No, you're not going on, pal.
You have slain an enemy.
Normally I would have actually walked away, but, you know, this is for jollies, people. Laugh a little, come on. Now, also depending on your team composition, you want to do one of a few things. Let's see what we got going on. So, lifesteal plus Guan Yu and Raw. Yeah, heavy on the life. Okay, so, normally I'd be picking up Void Stone to help their protections, but
But take anyone. An ally has been slain.
it's not going to happen that way.
Double kill.
Save you from me.
And there, that's what I mean by you got to use that wall. Use that wall. Oh, he got in still.
An ally has been slain.
Sorry, folks. Phone issues today.
An enemy has been slain.
No, I didn't say you could leave.
Minions have reached your portal.
Slice.
You have slain an enemy. An enemy has been slain.
The heat bears down upon you.
Killing spree.
See, this is one thing I love about
You have slain an enemy.
having that pestilence, which means no heals for them, which is perfect. This is how I want things to work out. That's all there is to it. Like I said, it's a straightforward kit, folks. More straightforward than your ice cream truck that comes on by to swindle you out of your money, when you can just go to an ice cream store and get something better, or equally just as good or better, for a better deal. Now I'm on that Sunday for a little bit. No burps for you.
An ally has been slain.
Here, take a chill pill, pal. Alright, get out, team, get out. There. Oh no,
An ally
Chonga's dead.
has been slain.
Gotta get you back
Normally, like I said, a smart player would have, a human player would have actually left. Dodged quite a while ago. Alright. Let's see here. Normally I would probably pick up more protections, depending on what they got going for them. Now you see if that wall would prevent Raw from moving, but one thing it will not do is prevent Raw from hitting me with that celestial beam of his.
An ally has
Nope,
been
sorry.
slain. Minions have reached your portal.
Ymir is invincible, but very sore.
Normally I would go for DiMaggio, but I kind of need to pin a little bit, so let's go with, let's go with you. Why not? No. No, you're staying in there.
Minions have reached
You're gonna take
your
all that
portal.
damage then.
An enemy has been slain.
No. No, you're not going anywhere. See, that's the only part I had an issue with, is getting that slow from the backflip, which made it easier for her to box me like that.
Enemy has been slain.
Remember I said, folks, this is why Blink is usually a recommended thing for him. Not that you don't need Blink to be successful with Ymir. Just remember, you gotta be able to face tank those damage.
A beautiful dance.
You just need to be able to face tank those damage and be able to hit off your abilities quickly. Do all that and you'll be surefire ready to win. And that should keep them there for a little while. Not that this will win the match or anything. But that's how you play them. I want to thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please be really cool about it. Subscribe, like,
Shut down.
and feel free to hit that notification button. It'll keep you informed when I start snowing in some more of the good stuff for you guys. Until then, class is over. Professor Ravage Roo signing out with this. Game on, be excellent to each other.